Hello guys, welcome to the 3D market commentary for today, Monday, May the 16th. I'm just going to put the disclaimers on the top left hand side, so please read them even if you need to pause the video to do so. Now before we go into the 3D market commentary for today, let me just explain where you can go for support, help and resources. So you've got two different email addresses down here. You have Becky@tradewithufos.com and support@tradewithufos.com. So two different email addresses that you can get hold of us on if you have questions or need help. There's also this link here, tradewithufos.com/Becky, which I can't seem to reach from down here, so give me a sec. Let me just get this back up for myself so I can click on it. Here we go. Brilliant. Here it is. So this link, tradewithufos.com/Becky, will take you to this page on our website. From here, you can book one-on-one coaching if you'd like to do that. You can join the group coaching program. You can get courses and apps. You can scroll down and track our sessions and track our trades as we place them. We'll be using that soon. And if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll find a question and answer section as well as a chat box. So loads of different help and support and resources, all from this link here, tradewithufos.com/Becky. Okay, so let's get into the 3D market commentary. So for those that don't know, the 3D market commentary is, of course, a video that we do every day, Monday to Friday, that accompanies an email that we send to our free members every day, Monday to Friday. That email is what we have here on the left-hand side. Now, in this email, we look at three major statistical elements, hence 3D market commentary, for a variety of different world-leading markets. So we have three different elements here, starting with market climate. Now, market climate essentially means what's the likely upcoming market direction? Is that market likely to go up, down, or nowhere? We use an app called AutoClimate. It's this one down here. This is a free app on most platforms that we can get it on. And AutoClimate shows us where those probabilities lie with those thick or thin dots that we see, red and blue. As we go through, I'll show you what each of them means. So we'll look at that per market to see where probabilities lie. Then we look at buy and sell UFOs. UFO in this case stands for unfilled order, and it means where do we have buyers waiting to buy that could push price up, or where do we have sellers waiting to sell that could push price down? Again, we use an app to help us. This is called Auto UFOs, and it shows us with these little green UFOs where the buyers are, with the little red UFOs where the sellers are. So we'll look at that per market as well. And then we look at market volatility, which is how quickly we expect the markets to move. So we'll look at each of these three elements per market, starting with the S&P 500, which is the top 500 US stocks. Now with the S&P and with all of the markets that we're looking at, we are looking at a daily time frame. Of course, different things happen on different time frames. We're looking at a daily chart. So S&P 500, top 500 US stocks, where are the probabilities? Now we have a thick red dot on our AutoClimate. That tells us probability is down. So likely move to the downside with the S&P. Now we also have sellers close by just here between 4153.25 to 4062. So price is very close at the moment. If price were to move up and hit those sellers, we'd expect them to push price continuously down. So overall probability down there. We've also got quite a way to go before we hit buyers, down at 3480 to 3319. Overall probability down for the time being with the S&P. Now, in terms of volatility, the type of movement that we could expect, we would expect a movement up or down in 1 year of 29.53%. But in a day, that's 74.52 points. In a week, 164.04 points. And in a month, 341.47 points. That's the S&P. So the next market is crude oil. So let's just load this and squish it so we can see what we need to see. Okay. Now, before we do that, just to point your attention up here, if you need help in understanding how to trade futures or stocks or Forex or maybe you need to understand how to build a trading plan, how to backtest it, or how to manage your trading psychology, we have courses on those things that should help you. Now, most of the courses come with a 3-month complimentary access to the apps that we use. Now, AutoClimate, this one here, that's a free app on most platforms you can use it on. But Auto UFOs, which is the one that shows us the buyers and sellers, that is a paid for monthly subscription, and it depends on which platform you use as to how much it costs. Now, you can subscribe directly to them. You don't need to get a course in order to use the UFOs. You can just subscribe directly and just use them by themselves. However, most of the time, it's cheaper to get a course and get 3 months complimentary access to the apps than it would be to simply subscribe for the apps for 3 months. So check that out, see what works best for you. Okay, coming back to crude oil. Thick blue dot on AutoClimate. That tells us probability is upwards. However, we have some conflicting information here. So we have a likely move to the upside coming from the climate. However, we have sellers right here that we are within between 115.54 to 108.68. Now they've already worked once, twice, 3 times to push price down. So we expect sellers to push price down. That's what they're doing. That's what they have done. That's why we want to know where they are. So what we have at the moment is the climate pushing up and sellers pushing down. So we've got a fight going on between buyers and sellers. Who will win? Who knows? Best to keep out of this and let it clear its probability, one side or the other. Then we have more likelihood on our side, more statistics on our side. For the time being, too much is conflicting. We also have buyers underneath us as well that could change things. They are between 107.37 to 102.66. So again, not enough in terms of clear probabilities one side or the other. Best to let it do its thing and go from there. In terms of volatility, we'd expect movement up or down in 1 year of 51.22%. In a day, that's 3.55 points. In a week, 7.81 points. And in a month, 16.27 points, either up or down. So that is crude oil. Now the next market is gold. So let's load gold. Again, squish it so we see what we need to see. Okay, so before we look at gold, just to highlight down here about the coaching and support that we offer. We do a lot of coaching and support for free. You can find our videos on YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook and places like that. We've also got our website where we have a lot of free resources there as well. Now, if you want access to our advanced coaching, it's essentially daily live trading videos and more resources, then you can check that out. Otherwise, like I said, there's lots for free anyway. So gold, thick red dot on AutoClimate, probability downwards. Now, we are overextended to the downside. Overextended to the downside. We've been going down for longer than we usually would, which means the longer we go past what's normal, the less likely it is to keep happening. But that doesn't mean it's going to change anytime soon. It just means be aware that we don't have as strong probability to the downside as if we would have had at the start, up here somewhere. Now, we do have buyers coming into play soon, or likely. They are between 1781.3 to 1753. So if price were to get down here, we would expect these buyers to push price up. For the time being, though, we do have a little bit of room before that, probability to the downside still. With volatility on gold, we'd expect movement up or down in 1 year of 21.2%. In a day, that is 24.07 points. In a week, 52.98 points. And in a month, 110.28 points, either up or down. So that's gold. The next market is the US dollar. So let's load this. Okay, so with the US dollar, we have a thick blue dot, probability to the upside. We also have buyers close by. There they are, between 104.21 to 103.235. We also don't have any sellers nearby, and not at all on the chart. So overall, probability up here for the US dollar on a daily chart. Now, in terms of volatility, we expect movement up or down in 1 year of 10.63%. So in a day, that's 0.7 points. In a week, 1.54 points. And in a month, 3.21 points. So that's the US dollar. Now, the last market is bakkt Bitcoin. So let's load this and squish it down so we see what we need to see. There we go. Now, before we look at Bitcoin, just to highlight here about our platform, it's called Predictive Options Planner, or better known as TOP. Now, I know it has options in the name, so if you are an options trader, it is especially helpful because it integrates a lot of exclusive options apps as well as the UFOs and autoclimate that we use. But even if you trade stocks or futures or Forex, TOP is a great platform to use for analysis purposes, especially if you are using our methodology and our apps. Okay, so bakkt Bitcoin, thick red dot, probability downwards. Now we have sellers up here between 36,445 to 35,525. We've got buyers down here between 23,737.5 to 22,910. Overall, probability there to the downside with room before we hit buyers that could change that. In terms of volatility, we'd expect movement up or down in 1 year on Bitcoin of 93.38%. So in a day, that's up or down of around 1,700 points. In a week, that's up or down of around 3,800 points. And in a month, it's up or down of around 7,900 to 8,000 points. So for each of the markets, we have looked at 3 major components, 3 major statistical elements. Now, by the way, just because these give us probabilities does not mean that they give us guarantees. We never know what's going to happen in life, let alone in the markets. All we can do is go based off of what is more likely to happen or less likely to happen. We also may layer things on top of this to give us greater probability. And we definitely need to manage our risk just in case we're wrong anyway. But in terms of the probabilities that we've looked at market climate using the AutoClimate app to figure out where probabilities lie. Up, down, or nowhere in terms of the likely movement in that market. Then we've looked at buy and sell UFOs. Where do we have buyers that could push price up? Where do we have sellers that could push price down? And then we've looked at volatility. What can we expect in terms of movement within given periods of time? Now, the last thing to look at is our weekly economic calendar. Now, we get this, we get this from fxstreet.com, and we filter by high impact news because we want to know which scheduled news reports may impact the markets that we're trading and create volatility, make them move a bit more. So today being Monday the 16th, we have news coming out at 10:15 a.m. Eastern that could affect the pound or British markets. We have news coming out, actually it's Constitution Day, it looks like in Norway, so no trading going on likely in Norway. And at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we have some news coming out that could affect the Australian dollar or the Australian markets. So be aware of those things if you trade in those markets. Otherwise, of course, unexpected news reports can also affect the market, so be aware of those as well. If you have any questions or you need help with anything, you can email me directly. It's becky@tradewithufos.com. Or you can go to this link here, tradewithufos.com/Becky. You can book one-on-one coaching if you'd like. You can get group coaching, courses, apps. If you scroll down, we'll start to use this soon. You can track our trades that we place. And you can also scroll down and find a question and answer section as well as a chat box as well. So lots of help here. Hopefully you find what you need. Otherwise, of course, you can email me. So today being Monday, I will wish you guys a great start to your trading week, a great week ahead in the markets, and I will see you again on Thursday. So see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.